All right, welcome back, everybody, to, I almost said the West Coast again, Lone Oak Farm. We're staring at our lone oak tree there. Well, I mean, we have more than one oak tree, but this is an oak tree all by itself, so it's a lone oak, and that's what the farm's named after. We got several guys on the server here doing some stuff to help us out, get ready for spring, because it's spring. I lost my brain a little bit here. What am I trying to say? The, what do we got? So what changed? Well, let's do a recap. Just in case you were, not familiar, you missed what I was talking about before. The fields close to home here, 35, 44, 45, 46, 38 are all going to be grass seed. We're doing those all as grass seed, because we're grass seed farmers. And so that's what we do. And the fields further out are going to be wheat. I believe that's what Aiden says they do in real life. You typically won't see wheat on the hillier fields here, close to the middle of the map. And even on the outer parts, most of them are still grass seed in this area. But that's just the way that we're going to play the map for now. And what else has changed? Yeah, so the fields in the middle here we're going to use for the cows, either silage or grass hay stuff. We've got, I believe we already have a lot of these grass fields fertilized, the grass fields that we started off with. We got someone that started cultivating 45, but we kind of changed plans because we have bought something new. So let's go look at, you can see it pulling in our driveway now, but let's go and look at that just so we can see what's going on here. We're just gonna move real fast here to kind of see it coming on in, and there we go. We have a quad track, and it's hooked up. So we bought a couple things from the store, and it looks like the quad track pulled home the the seeder. It just kind of looks funny on the back of that quad track. We will eventually probably get an air seeder from the Big Bud pack on this map going at some point, but for this season we're just kind of starting cheaper. We've got the quad track for the ripper. We have a bigger disc and a cultivator that we can also use for doing some field work as well. So yeah, I think a lot of these other tractors you have seen from before. So for right now, we have, I think, 3 drills, so we'll be able to drill and knock out these fields relatively quick with all the help we have. Last episode we did add cows, so unfortunately we missed someone, I think it was Platinum Turbo, taking care of the cows. We gave them some more power food to get their, keep on getting their health up. And I think if somebody wanted to, they could also run over to the store, grab another trailer load of animals, of cows specifically. Let me actually just look in the permissions and make sure that that is on. Yeah, trade animals is on. I think that I will do selling vehicles on. I think that allows them to customize it as well. So we'll do that. Oh no, because they need money to customize, right? I don't know. But we'll just do that for now. And I'll just save it. And so that's what we're going with. The quad track is, I mean, realistically speaking, we probably wouldn't splurge on a quad track with this size farm. We would rather get more land, and we can still do that. I just didn't want to buy too many fields because I didn't know how many people I would have originally. And the other bottom line is it's whatever, it's a game disclaimer. So I don't want to spend forever with small equipment. But the real problem is I couldn't find a ripper that's smaller than this, and this requires a quad track horsepower range to pull. So I just splurged and got the quad track because it's fun. And normally when I play on hard and MR, I never get to enjoy any of the bigger tractors because I always start on hard and MR, and it takes forever to get to that point. So for here, this will be fine because we get a quad track and a ripper going. So that'll be excellent here. Let's just hop on back to our tractor, and we're gonna start drilling some grass on in. So this will be great. And let's see here. So we have that's right. So the shift pattern is you do 1 through 12. It looks like in a lower range, and then the rest of the gears you have to shift up a range. Okay. I haven't explored this tractor too much with gearbox. I do have the gearbox that has the correct gearing from the pack. So let's see if we can do this in. I don't know. That might be a little bit tough. So let's lower this drill. We have the correct hybrid of grass seed in for our farm, and let's start off with these end rows. And looks like we can do it just fine. I think what would 12 be? Yeah, let's do 12. We can't go really faster than this. I think we'll pull out here and just do a nice little turn. We got extra room on the side of the field. I think I talked about this in the past, but the fields out here in this area in real life. Oh, now we gotta shift down. Yeah. The fields down in this area in real life all have, well, not all of them, but the fields down here in real life, most of them, if you look at the Google Maps, they have this space between them. Aiden called it a fire break because a lot of the times, especially in the past, they don't do it as much anymore, but they used to burn the fields, and so the fire break serves as the fire break between the fields. So you do actually have that gap. It's a little bit bigger than it is in real life on the map, right? For just to make the field definitions easier, and so you don't get those errors when you are working next to an unowned field. But that's what they're there for. So I think actually, how should we plant this field? I'm not sure the best way to do this. We also don't have markers. So I don't know. We're gonna say this old tractor doesn't have GPS though, because that'll be more fun. So we're just gonna pretend like we don't have GPS for now. And that field is not worked yet, so yeah, gotta miss that field. We also gotta shift down on gears, otherwise we oh, that leaves a nice little mark over there. All right, we gotta figure out our width. So if we do a guide of, I kind of put the front right fender on the edge there. It's kind of hard to see with this soil, so let's actually get out and stop here and make sure that we didn't miss anything. And it looks like we are just a small overlap actually. So if we actually put the front one, so we can have a little bit of space between the front fender and the edge of the field, and something like that. Let's double check to make sure we're okay. It's really hard to tell actually, this texture, where we cultivated and where we actually planted or drilled rather. Yeah, see, that looks like is that a gap? Yeah, that's a gap. I think we're gonna go back and get that. So apparently it is. Oh, I didn't realize I turned my lights on. Oh, that must have been when I disabled the seasons thing. All right, so it turns out that I need to be a little bit closer than this. So let's go back, and I don't want that much of a gap. That's a little bit too much. Too much. Man, maybe we should use GPS. It's really hard to see, is it just my lighting? Is it just because I just woke up? It's really hard to see where your edge is there. You know what? It's not, it's just a drill. It's not like we're planting corn, so it's okay to be not perfectly accurate like that. I mean, not across the whole field. I'm talking about when I went back to replant there. If that was corn, I would have to go back and be a little bit more precise in the way that I replanted based on how the combine, right? Oh, you know what? So this, oh, I see what's going on here. So it looks like this mod needs the height adjusted. You can see that I actually lifted it when it, when I went to turn around there, but it's still drilled right through and seated. So we're just gonna have to remember to turn it off when we go around turns, because otherwise it doesn't lift up far enough to register it actually lifting up. So we got to remember to turn this off when we go to turn around. And I actually forget what button that is for me. It also feels like it's not really pulling. So maybe this mod, I think this mod, I don't know, this mod might need a little adjustments on it. So what button is, okay, so that turns off or on. Okay, right, I am needed to buy the cows. Let me hop on over here. And this animal trailer, oh my goodness. This animal trailer is huge. This animal trailer is so long. If you guys use this, I believe I got it from American Eagles Modding. Look at how wide this thing is. This thing is a bear to try to wrangle and back up without hitting anything, especially if you play only from inside of a cab. It's also a really, it's longer. It's not that hard if you take it into account. You just have to take into account that it is longer than a normal trailer, so you just have to turn wider. You have to wait for cars because you don't want to turn into them, and it's just a little bit of something that you have to get used to. And yeah, see how, look at that thing. It's almost gonna hit me just from turning way back there. Yeah, let's watch, let's go forward a little bit and watch them at this stop sign, because this is gonna be crazy here. Yeah, fortunately, he didn't have too much of traffic to worry about, so he was able to turn. But if you had cars coming, you know, and you couldn't turn out there on the other side of the road, you really have to wait for it to completely clear out. Otherwise, there's no way you're making that turn. And we just got a little bit of synchronizing, and he still made it just fine. Didn't clip the telephone pole at all. We are, there he is going back to the farm. This map is just so beautiful. And there he goes. I tell you, it brings the map alive, not only to see traffic, but just to see other people driving on the map. It just makes it so much more enjoyable. Anyway, let's hop back to our tractor here. And remember, we gotta turn it off when we are going around corners, because it doesn't seem to lift up enough to register that it's off the ground. So that's something that we're gonna have to do. This is kind of an end row and a and a long row, so we're gonna have to, I think we'll just kind of plant around this again, or sorry, drill slash seed, whatever you call it. Not really planting. We're drilling. And based on last round, I just need to keep basically the land we already drilled, basically on the front left, on the outside of that fender, and then we will not miss anything. Man, I wish for the good old days when we can afford GPS in one of these old tractors. Sure would make drilling the ground a lot easier, right? How much better would it be if we have the Big Bud air seeder? Oh, one day we'll be able to afford it on this farm. The let's see, what are the other guys doing? We can go. Let's look here. So we've got. I don't know if anything else needs fertilized, but we can check all the fields around home to see if they need fertilized. These drills actually do have fertilizer in them, so it'll give us a layer when we go to fertilize the fields. But if not, I don't know if you could maybe fertilize ahead of me and get another layer in. I mean, that's realistic enough. Oftentimes you have pre-emergence, or pre-seeding herbicide that you do to make sure that no weeds competing with the crops right off the bat. So I know Dylan is bringing back some animals. We probably would need another set. I bet you we'll need another set here of hay bales and silage bales and grass bales. So we'll need probably someone to drive the truck down to the shop and get some more of those. What I have been doing is, since oftentimes someone will load you up, what I did is with seasons, I just bought a little skid steer or a front loader, whatever I wanted to use, and then I sold it. And as long as you sell within half an hour of seasons, you get a full refund, and that just kind of simulates the store having a tractor, to load up trucks and trailers and etc. So that's something that also could be done. And then of course we could do some more seeding. I think there's 3 seeders on the farm. There's three little drills on the farm. I have one of them, so we have 2 more drills available. I don't think anybody else is drilling, because I think the only other field we can drill right now is the grass seed fields. I do possibly think that buying field 30 could be a good idea, because that one's really close to home. It's right on the main lane there, and I like owning the fields that I drive right by, at least on this side of the lane. So perhaps I'll go buy 30. That'll give some people more stuff to do, more stuff to cultivate and drill up later. Let's just go look at it real quick. Field 30 looks like it is, what is that? Is that already planted? Is that planted with potatoes? Oh, we can't have potatoes. Okay, yeah, so we're gonna buy 30 then, because it's got potatoes, and that's just not gonna work. So someone needs to plow up these horrible potato field in 30, and we're gonna plant some grass seed there. So 30 is also gonna be a grass seed thing. Right. And let's turn around here. I think how do I give guys on a server that you create? How do I give guys admin access? I don't think I can I? I mean, separate accounts are off. I don't think I can give them admin access. Huh. Well, that's interesting. I didn't see it anywhere in the menu. What happens if I click on a name? Nope, kick or ban. I can give other people money. So I can always use separate accounts and then give someone money. That kind of lets them be admin, but I don't see any other option for admin in the menu here. Well, I guess it's not that big of a deal. Let's just keep on planting. And we've got that side of the field kind of done. So I think we're going to continue planting another end row. When we go to mow these fields, we do actually have another grass seed farmer on the server. So it'll be interesting to know what he does. When I was talking with Aiden, he says that there's two basic ways that that he has seen these fields swathed. When they, remember, if you recall the grass seed process, you take a swather out there, and you know, it's kind of essentially something that cuts slash mows, well, really cuts the grass seed and lays it in a windrow. But it's not a windrower, because you don't want to use something like that because it's way too violent. You'll lose a lot of the grass seed. And it's something that you also only do at night, otherwise you lose a lot of the grass seed. But anyway, you have a swather that swaths and lays the windrow down, and then you wait something like a week, and then you come back later with the combine and pick it up and thresh it with an actual combine, only with a pickup header, something that only like the forage harvesters would use by vanilla game standards. So I was asking Aiden how his family swaths in real life, and what they do is, maybe we could pull up the map here so you can see a little bit better idea while we're cruising along this really long field here. But what he would do is, their farm typically does it in a clockwise or a counterclockwise fashion. Whatever direction you swath the field in, you also have to go back in the same direction with the pickup header, otherwise it doesn't work as well. So if you do the field in a clockwise motion, then you have to harvest in a clockwise motion, and obviously you work from the outside in, or at least that's what he did. Right, they work from the outside in. But then the problem is, you generally never want to run over a swath, a windrow, because you'll shake loose those seeds. So as a general rule of thumb, you never want to have to run over a windrow. However, if you work from the outside in, then you are running over seeds, and you're losing a little bit on the way out. He said they typically use the corners to try to exit the field. He said the other way that you can do it is you can go back and forth, right? But then back and forth has its own problems, because if you imagine a field where you cannot turn around. So for example, up here, there's a ditch and then the road. I don't think we can feasibly turn around a swather slash combine at the end of this field. So we'll have to do some type of end rows with the swather down here to make room for the combine to turn around. Obviously the combine will pick up those first, so you're not turning and running over those. But then you have the problem of, how do you do that when you're swathing? Because if you cut and swath the end rows first, then you have the problem of, yeah, see, this isn't enough room. We're gonna have to do some end rows of swathing. But then you have the problem of, let's turn around here, make sure that I can't see cars. We're gonna lean forward a little bit there and look that way and look this way, and it looks like we're clear. But if you do the end rows, then you have the problem of a swather is going to be turning around on top of one of those windrows when he goes to turn around, as far as I can figure. So Aiden also said, yeah, no matter how you swath the field, it seems like you're going to be running over something. You just want to minimize the amount of times that you run over a swath that you have already mowed. And that's one of the things that you just have to always keep in mind as you are swathing and going along further with the grass seed process. So it'll be interesting. Dylan on the server here, you'll see him up there in the glance. He's actually a grass seed farmer in real life up in Canada somewhere, and so it'd be interesting his input on that as well. I also know that Aiden, you know, it's funny because I obviously there's different hybrids of grass seed, right? It's just something, because I'm not a grass seed farmer, you never think about. And so he was saying that that's the general rule of thumb with most grass seeds. What in the world am I on? Oh, that's a rock. Oh boy. Well, that would have probably damaged some things. Note to self, there's a rock in that corner of the field, so don't want to do that. And here we go. So let's go back up, and then we're gonna back into there. Dylan is going to. I don't think wheat will germinate yet. So maybe we should maybe we should not do wheat. Oh, oh, the car, he couldn't turn fast enough. Looks like he was oh, it looks like he was coming to help me then, maybe. So right, anyway, regarding that grass seed comment, yeah, it's something that you just kind of take for granted. Well, of course, there's different grass hybrids, and they all handle differently. He was saying that, like, there's one hybrid called bent grass that you can mow that thing with any mower at noon, and, you know, when it's dry, and you're not going to lose any grass seed off of it. He said farmers typically thresh that. I think he said 3 times, a lot of times, to get everything. So they send it through the combine once, and then they go back and they pick up the windrow again. It's like twice or 3 times often. It's kind of crazy to think about threshing multiple times like that. It's just I don't know. It's just interesting how many different types of you know, grass seed there is when you farm corn and soybeans all your life. And obviously there's other types of farming, but it just seems so foreign. It doesn't even, I don't know, it's like we're gonna be mowing grass and picking that up in a combine. It doesn't even, to me, it doesn't even really feel like farming because it's so foreign. It's such a different thing, you know, that it doesn't feel like farming, but obviously it is. I'm not trying to diss it or that's just the way that it is. All right, welcome back after we just had a syncing problem there that I edited out. So let's turn on our seeder here, and we're gonna go finish the end rows, and then I'm gonna work on that other side of the field that I'm heading towards, and I think looks like Dylan's gonna be continuing along that side. So we will just keep on keeping on. We might actually need, we're using the fertilizer pretty quickly. It might be great if someone could buy a trailer full of big bags with a front loader, and I'm not sure if we'll need seed. Well, I mean, eventually we're gonna need some seed. We'll definitely need fertilizer relatively soon here, so if somebody else could actually make that a priority, that would probably be great. I'll probably have to jump to the store and, well, you know what, if they could actually drive to the store, that might be better. So then I wouldn't have to go buy them a tractor. So if they could take a front loader to the store and buy that, that'd be great. So let's go back here. Yeah, I would use I mean, I typically like the big bags. We could use the big bags. We could use either that or pallets. I'm fine with either one, as long as you take the front loader yourself to the store. But then that also means, how would we do that with it? Do we have a, you know what, I'm thinking of another mod now. I guess we could just use the Flegel trailed bale trailer for putting that stuff on. Yeah, we'll use the other one for other stuff. We'll use one of those for fertilizer or something like that. So let me actually just buy that right now. I'm thinking that we will, I don't know, it'd be great to get a really old, well, like that old the old homemade trailer. We had one of those laying around on the farm that we use for seed. But where am I looking at now? Baling technology, I think. No. Yes. So we'll just buy that DPW 180. That feels like it's that feels North American enough, I guess. So we'll just buy something like that. We used to have a really old bale trailer like that. Granted, it had wooden top, but that's close enough. So we got that one, and then let's go look at our front loaders, because I thought I have. Did I buy the? Oh, are we not using the big? Oh, maybe we're not using the big bags on this. I thought I carried those over. Nope, I guess we're using pallets. So we'll need some pallet forks. I don't think we have any of those on the farm. So I will, yeah, 0 pallet forks. So I'll have to buy a pallet fork. I'll put that also over at the thing, and then we're going to need fertilizer. So this is going to be pallets. So we're going to need solid fertilizer and seed as well. So let's do 4 solid fertilizers and maybe 2 seeds for now. Let's do 3 seeds, and let's do 2 more fertilizers, and we'll see how far. I don't think we need liquid at the moment, so let's go do that way. There we go. All right. Got Vorden there trying to catch up with. In reality, we probably should have waited for him to fertilize this field before we actually started. But I remember actually, I think it was just last year, we were sitting out, and I was in the tractor, my dad was in the truck, I had the planter hooked up, and we were actually waiting for the sprayer to finish spraying so we could plant. It was actually, I forget what they were spraying, but it was just some type of pre-emergence herbicide that killed all the weeds before the crop, in the pre-emergence stage, before the crop emerges from the ground, so that it doesn't have any competition. And that was, we were just sitting there waiting for the fertilizer to finish before we hopped on the field. So this is something that does often normally happen in real life. So not immersion breaking at all to see the fertilizer truck. It just, we kind of started planning a little early. We just we jumped the gun. We've got, that's not Roy. Is anybody okay? So it doesn't look like anybody's in that tractor. I didn't know if that tractor was stuck and struggling up the hill or if it was just empty. Looks like it's empty. That's fine. I was just making sure nobody's having another problem with another tractor. We've got let's just do a recap of the minions. Oh no, someone is in that tractor. I think I was just, either they just hopped in or I was too far away to see the person on the PDA. I know you can see a tractor far ahead of where you can see, like, you see the little dot on the PDA before you actually see a person in the tractor. So I don't know, maybe there was someone in there. We'll never know. Well, Roy was in there. Roy must have just tapped, because it said Roy was doing 28 miles an hour or something earlier. I don't think he was doing 20 miles an hour in the quad track in the middle of a field. Let's go back here. Yeah, see, there's that's what I'm talking about. We can see, well, now you can't because the dot's already changed to a person. But before, right when I started talking, I saw the 2 dots for Vorden fertilizing the field before it popped up with a with like a person symbol on the PDA down there on the map. So I don't know if that's yeah, I don't know if that's what was going on over there or not, but we can go up to, we certainly don't need to stay in 10. Should pay a little bit more attention to what I'm doing here. Don't want to miss any valuable. So actually, did I miss a spot back there? Let's just look real quick. No, it looks like that's pretty good width if I set the fender. Well, yeah, right there. I'm just about perfect. So if I set that fender just on the edge of the planted or the drilled texture there, that's just about what I want. That's just about perfect right there. So let's, you know what? We don't often have this. So let's see if we can continue on straight and get a nice look at some other people on the server here. If we can continue straight. I don't know if we can. Board must be just over the hill there, out of sight. views on this map are just amazing. It really, you know, it's it's kind of a shame. I don't know. Sometimes it's got to be frustrating. I know most people enjoy Sam Bullet Bill's maps, but it's just got to be frustrating, you know, to not let the negative comments get to you. And it's just, I don't know. I don't want to go on another rant here, but it's frustrating as a fellow. I'm not putting myself in the same class as Bullet Bill, but as a fellow modder in general, it's frustrating to see all the, you know, like people saying, "Oh, this just looks like any other map that he's done." Are you kidding me? I had deja vu driving around this map because it feels like some parts of North America fill in the blank. It's just like certain curves. It's like I instantly felt like I've been there before, even in Illinois. Even though this is Oregon, obviously the mountains and the hills in the distance are quite different between here and Illinois. And that's not what I have deja vu about. But just certain corners, it's like it feels so real. With feels like North America. He nailed the North American feeling. I don't know how anybody could say, "Oh yeah, it's just like any other map he's done." I don't know. It's Eustis Farmer has said it before. It's kind of just like it's a sign that you've arrived. You know, when you're that good, it just breeds jealousy and anger, and people are, I don't know. I've seen a few other people talk about how Frontier gets, you know, unfair treatment from Giants, and it's like if you see some of the stuff that goes on in the back end, like they reject Frontier's mods just like other mods. If anything, I've often thought it's the exact opposite, where they don't receive preferential treatment. They receive the exact opposite of that, because it feels like sometimes Giants just, well, you know what, we're gonna fail their map the first time no matter what, because it's, you know, we're jealous of how good they can make maps. And for years we've said that we can't make maps like they make because, well, you know, console players and FPS, and with how good this map looks, with how much perfect detail and just the nailing of the North American feeling that Bullet Bill has made on this map, you know, it's kind of almost like Giants is just like, yeah, you know what, we're gonna fail your map no matter what. I don't know. It's just kind of frustrating to see sometimes all the hate and negative feedback he gets. And so one more thing I'll say is, please go on to farmingsimulator.com. You know, it's interesting. There's some people that'll never rate a map 5 out of 5. They'll always rate it 4. It's like they'll say, "This is an awesome map. This is the best map ever," but it's 4 out of 5. And I mean, that's fine. If you can find one thing wrong with the map, then yeah, technically it's not a 5 out of 5. But I hate the rating system they use, because you only get the bonus if the map is above a 4 out of 5. And the problem with that system is you have a few trolls and haters that rate it as a 1 or a 2, and then you have a few people that actually think it's a 3 for whatever reason. And then so if you rate the map as a 4, well, then that's not really getting them anywhere. You know, it takes what is it? It takes like, what's the math work out to? Like 5 5s to make it, to make up for 1 1, 4 5s, something like that. I don't know. I would just encourage you to go on over to the Mod Hub, and I feel like it's a 5. I'm not going to tell you how to vote, but I would highly recommend rating it as a 5 out of 5, because it's awesome, and that's my opinion. So at the very least, be sure to rate it. Just go over there and rate the map. That it gets a lot of downloads and not enough ratings, so every little bit helps. Don't think your vote doesn't count. Get out there and vote. And I think that we made some pretty good progress here on the map so far. I feel like at this point it's probably a good place to end the episode, because Well, I don't know. We've got, I feel like it's a pretty good place to end the episode here. We got a lot of this field, we got a good start on this field. We've got a lot of fields that have been either cultivated or ripped or starting. And then we've got, yeah, really good start on this map so far. And I think that I will be back later, so we'll, let's see. Is there really anything to recap? I don't really think there's anything to recap here. Other than I always select the wrong gear. But, I think that, oh, you know what? I think my left and right speakers, I messed up my cables. So I just heard that tractor out of my right ear. And that seemed, that was wrong. So I gotta flip around my cables here. But, oh, you know what? I also missed a bunch. That's gonna bother me. Let's go back up. Let's go get that real quick. And yeah, that's enough that we're just gonna go back and do that. So we'll pretend that, well, no need to pretend it didn't happen. It happened. There we go. So we're going back and replanting this little strip here. I don't know. I just got off a little bit there. Must have been talking too much. Anyway, get on to the download. First of all, be sure to I know there's probably a lot of stupid other fake websites that try to give you viruses that have uploaded this map onto their sites by now. So be sure to don't use any of those stupid sites. Be sure to download from the official Mod Hub and be sure to rate it, hopefully 5 stars, or if you really think it's less than 5 stars, then go ahead and do that. But rate it whatever you feel. But I highly encourage you to at least get on there and vote. And also in my Discord, I do have a donation link for Bullet Bill. It's you know, it doesn't take a lot to say thanks. And if you really feel the map deserves a 5, just think about throwing a couple bucks his way. If you look on Discord under announcements, you will see that link to Bullet Bill's PayPal. I highly recommend just support your favorite modder. Just throw him a few bucks. And you know what? I should also, if I remember, I'll include that link in the description of this YouTube video. But just, it's under my Discord. There's, at the very least, if I do forget, there's a link to my Discord from that from this YouTube video. So go to the rules-announcements thread, and somewhere in there, oh, I have the planter raised, but because this planter's broken, it's effectively lowered anyway. But anyway, go over there to my Discord in rules announcements, click on the link to throw Bullet Bill a couple bucks. If everybody just threw him even, what, 50 cents? I don't know if it has a minimum donation, but $1? What's $1? It's cheaper than a cup of coffee. Just throw him a couple bucks. It helps. He does his modding. Oh my goodness, I feel so bad. He does his modding from, the last time I checked, he does his modding from like a 10-year-old PC. It's actually good in a lot of ways for console testing, because he got his map to play on 4K. This map, he was determined to get it to play at 4K at 60 FPS on his 10-year-old computer. And his desk is like a little fold-down table in the kitchen. Or at least that's where he works from some of the time. So a couple bucks, if everybody sent a couple bucks to watch this video, it would go a long way to help out Sam. I'm not sure. I'm not trying to make the case that he's poor and he needs money to live, but if that's the way it sounded, I wasn't trying to say that. But it just helps. It's an expensive hobby. We could all use a better computer. Well, not me. I mean, my computer's awesome. But wait, no, I need a better computer because yeah. So give me money too. No, just kidding. Send money to Bullet Bill because he could use it. And it seriously helps go to paying a few of the extra bills. And it means that I remember him saying that you know, the extra money from something like Mod Hub is not significant enough that it's not like a huge deal breaker, but it has meant that he was able to take a few extra vacation days based on that money to you know, pay a few of the bills so he could take a few extra vacation days and, you know, work on the map all day from home, or, you know, spend time with family or stuff like that. So again, if everybody just give him $1 or $2, if everybody did that, it'd go a long way. So for now, that concludes this episode. I will see you all later, hopefully, and let's get a nice look at that quad track before we end the recording. That guy's flying. Man, that thing goes. Okay, well, anyway, we're going to kill the tractor because I was looking at a pretty quad track and not paying attention to my own drill. But we will probably stop right here and we'll just watch the quad track work for a little bit more, and I will sign off to see you guys later. So again, thanks a lot for stopping by, and donate to your favorite modder. Hopefully that's Bullet Bill. Links in my Discord. I think I've said that like 5 times now. Anyway, thanks guys. I'll see you later.